Yeah, cams on everyone. Let's start off. Yeah, so last thing we did was this, the relation between incident reflected rays and the normal vector. So example, someone gives you a question like this. So let's say the incident ray vector I cap is 3i minus 4j by 5. And let's say the normal vector is I minus j by root 2. And they'll ask you like this, find r cap. Can you get this? There, you can note down this formula if you want. So r cap is given by I cap minus 2 times I cap dot n cap into n cap. I'll write down here. So r cap will be I cap minus 2 times I cap dot n cap into n cap. There, that's your formula. Get this. Just a matter of substituting there. So exam question will be like this. The incident ray is given, the reflected ray, the normal is given, find the reflected ray. Now, if you don't know the result, it will be tough to solve. You have to derive the whole thing. Chalo, others keep your cams on. Let's get this. How do we do this? Just a matter of substitution, everyone. Minus 4i plus 3j plus 5. We have one answer. Fast, fast. I'll give you a minute more. Did everyone receive the booklets?
Yes.
Okay. In case you didn't get, you talk to Imi ma'am. She will help you out with that. So substitute here. First of all, let's get what is I dot n cap. So I dot n cap will be how much? 3 plus 4 by 5 root 2. The dot product, right? 3 plus 4. That would be 7 by 5 root 2. Then you're done. You just have to substitute here. So r cap will be 3i cap minus 4j cap by 5 minus 2 times 7 by 5 root 2 into n cap is I cap minus j cap by root 2. Root 2 and the 2 will cancel there. You will end up with 3i minus 4j by 5 minus 7i minus 7j by 5. This will be 3i minus 7i. That will be 4i minus 4 plus 7 plus 3j by 5. Is this clear, everyone? Easy. So if you know the result, it looks quite easy. But the thing is to get that result is a catch. Any doubts on this? All clear with this? This is something which did last class. We're just revising it by putting numbers. Next thing. Then we have something called direction cosines. So what are these direction cosines? So if you take a vector, x, y, and z, and let's say we have a vector here, let's say a bar. So this will make an angle with x-axis, let's call it alpha. Let's say it makes an angle beta with the y-axis. And let's say it makes an angle gamma with the z-axis. So alpha is angle between a bar and x-axis. Beta is angle between a bar and y-axis. And gamma is angle between a bar and z-axis. So how do you find angle between two vectors? Use the dot product, isn't it? So this is how we find this. So listen to this thing. When you say angle between a bar and x-axis, indirectly you're asking me find the angle between a bar and I cap, isn't it? So if you take the vector between a bar and I cap, a bar dot I cap, this is mod a bar, mod I cap, cos alpha. Does it make sense? The angle between a bar and any vector on the x-axis I cap will give you the angle between both of them. And let's say a bar is ax I cap, ay j cap, and az k cap. So to do the dot product, this would be ax, this would be root over ax square, ay square, az square cos alpha. There, this is how you find these things. So cos alpha is ax by root over ax square, ay square plus az square. Similarly, I can do between a bar dot j cap. So this is the angle between a bar and y-axis. This will be cos beta. So this will be ay and this will be root over ax square, ay square, and az square cos beta. So this cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, these are called direction cosines. So the angle made by these things are the direction cosines. Have a look at this page, then I'll show you for cos gamma also. I hope you're getting the meaning of what is a direction cosine. So basically the cos of the angle between the vector and the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, those are called direction cosines. These are the cos angles which will give you the direction. Any doubts on this page?
Sir, what exactly is direction cosines?
I'll tell you, I'll write it down. But this part is clear. What is cos alpha, cos beta?
Yes, sir.
So clear with this? No need to write down the notes. We'll get the PDF. So focus on listening and understanding. But any doubts on this thing? How did you get the angles between them? So when I say angle between x-axis, along x-axis, what vector do you have? You have I cap. So similarly, if I do between a bar dot k cap, so this will give you the angle between the a bar vector and the z-axis. This will give you cos gamma. This will be az root over ax square, ay square, and az square is cos gamma. So these three quantities, right? Cos alpha, cos beta, and cos gamma are called direction cosines, where alpha, beta, gamma are the angles with the vector with x, y, and z axis. And you will see an interesting property. If you square them, cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma, when you do square of everything, you will end up with ax square, ay square plus az square. Denominator also will get the same thing, right? You can just square that and see you will get equal to 1, isn't it? And we can also write what is cos alpha. Cos can be written as 1 minus sine square alpha plus 1 minus sine square beta plus 1 minus sine square gamma. So if you just replace this, send everything that side, you get sine square alpha, sine square beta plus sine square gamma is equal to 2. This is a relation between alpha, beta, and gamma. This will be a direct question in the exam. If alpha, beta, gamma are the direction cosines, what is the relation of sine square alpha, sine square beta, and sine square gamma? So now, if I try to ask you, find a cap, what is a cap? A cap is nothing but axi cap, ayj cap, plus azk cap by its magnitude. So if you divide each component with magnitude, you will realize this is nothing but cos alpha I cap plus cos beta j cap plus cos gamma k cap. This is the reason why we call it direction cosines. Basically, these cos functions are giving you the direction of the vector, which is a cap. Clear with this? That would be important. So if I give you alpha, beta, gamma, I can find the vector, the direction. You have written sine alpha, yeah, that is sine gamma. Clear with this? It is just a concept there, more of a mathematical thing. So that's it. So if I give you three angles, you can find me the vector. Is everyone clear? How did we get the angles? So let me show you how they'll ask in the exam. So exam they'll ask you something like this. Suppose if I ask you a bar is equal to, let's say, 3i minus 4j plus 5k. What was the last question number? 27. Let's do it as a question only. Find the direction cosines. Or they can also ask you find the angles. Both are same. Made by a bar with x, y, z axis. Let's get this. Again, just have a look at this. Keep it simple. There's no need to remember all these formulas. If I ask you angle between two vectors, what will you do? Angle between two vectors, a bar dot b bar is mod a, mod b, cos theta. Now you're asking me angle with x-axis. So x-axis will be nothing but I cap. So put b is equal to I cap and you'll get the answer. You're getting it? So try to understand the meaning of it instead of trying to remember a formula. Get this? I'll give you 2 minutes. Hmm. Right over here. So first one, a bar dot I cap is mod I cap cos alpha. So a bar dot I cap is 3. Mod A will be root over 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. That's root 50 cos alpha. That would be how much? 3 by pi root 2. Similarly, I can do for a bar dot j cap mod A mod j cos beta. Same story. This will be minus 4 root 50 cos beta. So I can write root 50 as 5 root 2 directly. 25 into 2, right? The cos beta will be minus 2 root 2 by 5. A bar dot k cap is mod A mod k cap cos gamma. Same story. This will be 5 and this will be 5 root 2 cos gamma. So once I got cos, I can just use that, alpha is cos inverse 3 by root 5 by root 2 and everything. Easy, everyone? That's it. So direction questions as such, it is not. It's just a mathematical concept. Clear? Another way of asking the same question is this way. Any doubts on this page? Anyone not clear with this, please ask me. How did you get the angles or anything? Clear, na, Aditi? Advait, Ishman?
Sir, how do you get a bar dot j cap dot product?
Dot product. Don't know how to do dot product, you know, na? Multiply the j component, right? Yeah. So there's only minus 4, na? So another way of asking the question is this. If I give you alpha, beta, gamma, if alpha is 135, beta is 60, and let's say gamma is 120, then find the unit vector. This is another way of asking. Same question, you are just playing around. I give you the vector, you can find direction questions. I give you the direction questions, you can find the vector. This was easy. There, we just now wrote it, right? This is the thing, cos alpha I cap, cos beta j cap, and cos gamma k cap. That's it. If you know that, you're done. कुछ भी नहीं था question में. So a cap is cos alpha I cap. That's what we call direction quotient. They'll give you the directions of a vector. Cos beta j cap and cos gamma k cap. Cos 135 is minus 1 by root 2. Cos 60 is half. Cos 120 is minus half. Easy? Straightforward. Mostly a CET level question. But I think I did a mistake. Let's say gamma is not given. I did a mistake. What is the mistake? Cos square alpha, cos square beta, cos square gamma must be 1, na? They're not satisfying 1. Now how will you find? Gamma I should not give. I give too much data. I gave only alpha and beta, so you need to first find gamma and then find this thing here. So that thing was actually wrong. I shouldn't have given gamma ka value because they're not satisfying. You know, cos square alpha, cos square beta, cos square gamma ka sum is not coming 1. Or is it coming 1? I don't think it is coming 1. 1 by 4, 1 by 4, and 1 by 2. No, it is coming 1, right? It is coming 1. We are lucky. So even if I didn't give you gamma, you can still figure it out. Clear with this? So that is one thing about the dot product thing. So that was small part left. The next thing, vector cross product. Quite a useful one, but this we'll start encountering especially in circular motion, rotation, and later on. So what is this vector cross product? Like I said last time, if you remember, the scalar dot product vectors, the whole chapter, right, is a made up chapter. We have created this chapter for our convenience. Like we are using this concept, so we have formalized them. So what people noticed, there are certain vector quantities that depend on sine of the angle between two vectors. So people notice these kind of things are repetitive. So this is the format. For example, if you take something like torque, which I'm sure you studied in school. So torque is given by R into F into sine theta. If you see magnetic force, this is given charge into velocity into magnetic field into sine theta. This is charge. This is velocity, and this is magnetic field. So we have observed there are a lot of quantities like this, which depend on the sine theta. So then people said, okay, let's call all these things mod A bar, mod B bar, sine theta into n cap is equal to A cross B. This is how you pronounce it. Don't say A into B. It is A cross B. That is the pronunciation. So basically the vector A cross B is given by mod A, mod B, sine theta into n cap. We need to talk about this n cap. This n cap is a pseudo vector. Remember what is a pseudo vector? Do you guys remember what does a pseudo vector does?
Gives direction.
But exactly of what? Why did we define the pseudo vector in the first place? Anyone remember the reason why we need to define a pseudo vector?
Yes, sir. I think sir, in circular motion, sir, we cannot define a particular direction, sir, because the direction
Yeah.
is changing.
So what
So
Hari
we
is saying
take
is
it
right. So when a
perpendicular.
thing is, yeah, Hari, you got it right. So when thing is going in a circle, right? At every point, the direction is changing, isn't it? So it becomes very complex to define. It has infinite directions. So we use the pseudo vector using right hand thumb rule. Remember? So by using right hand thumb rule, the curl of the fingers will give you the rotation. The thumb will give you the direction. So it's a pseudo vector. It is not a real vector, but it saves your time. For example, if something is going like this, 30 revolutions per minute, it is going anti-clockwise. We simply say, now if you put your hand on this and try to rotate this, the thumb is pointing out. We say this is 30 revolutions per minute, direction is k cap, out of the plane. I hope you remember the pseudo vector thing, right? So this n cap actually gives you that thing. It's a pseudo vector. We'll talk about that a bit, which is perpendicular to both A bar and B bar. So this vector becomes like this. The torque becomes R bar cross F bar. Magnetic force becomes Q, velocity cross B bar. So you actually remove that sine theta and you put a cross. You can note this down. And let's see how do we calculate that n cap? How do we calculate cross product, and what is the physical significance of this? Questions are straightforward. Unlike dot product, the varieties are little less in vector cross product. And this is the last part of our chapter. And like I said, vectors is actually more of a max chapter than physics, but quite an important one. Clear? Now let's see the meaning of this direction. So when you say A cross B, the meaning of this is when vector A bar rotates towards B bar, so we will take that rotation and using right hand thumb rule, the curl of the fingers will give the rotation. And the thumb gives you the direction. So you can think of like this. This is a picture I showed you before also. So see how it goes. Suppose if this is A bar and if this is B bar, so when you rotate A bar towards B bar, so like this, right, the thumb will point outward. So this will be A cross B. A simple way to understand this, take a screw. For example, see if I take this bottle cap, if you're looking into my screen, if I take my bottle cap, so think of like this. If you want to remove this bottle cap, I want the cap to come out, isn't it? So my thumb should point up. So these fingers will tell you the rotation. That means if I rotate my cap this way, the cap is going to come out. You're getting it? So that is the kind of direction. So even though the rotation is happening in this plane, the cap is moving up and down, isn't it? So that's why we call it a pseudo vector. It doesn't give you the actual direction, but it tells you the sense of rotation. So reverse, same way. If I want to put the cap back inside, the thumb has to point downward. So I need to rotate this way. So if I rotate my cap this way, the cap is going to get tight. So this is a right-hand screw. Hope you guys remember this discussion we did in pseudo vectors. So same thing you're still doing. So when you rotate the vector from A towards B, the thumb will point in the A cross B direction. Similarly, if you have rotated B towards A, that is B cross A, then the rotation would be downward. So this cross product, right, especially deals with quantities where rotations are involved. Is this clear, everyone? So we can clearly see from here, A cross B is equal to minus of B cross A. The directions are opposite. Both will not be the same. So A cross B simply gives you the direction of the motion of the screw. You can think of a screw. That is one of the good example for vector cross product or pseudo vector. So the rotation will happen in a plane, but the screw goes up and down perpendicular to the plane. Any doubts on this page? All clear with this? We did have a similar discussion before in pseudo vectors, but yeah. It's clear, no? Utsa? Yashvi? Ananya? Shlok? Advai? Clear? Going ahead. So how do we cross this A? How do we calculate this A cross B? Listen to this thing. So I cross I, what is this? Mod I cap. Mod I cap. What is the angle between two parallel vectors? Both are same, 0. Sine 0 is 0. So if you do I cross I, you get 0. Similarly, if you do j cross j, 0. K cross k, 0. In dot product, right, I dot I was 1, remember? Because there it was cos function, here it is sine. Now, if you do I cross j, what do you get?
1.
Ask yourself, if you rotate, let's see, this is x, this is y. If x-axis is rotating towards y, what do you get? The thumb is coming out of the plane, right?
Yes.
So if x rotates towards y, the thumb is coming out of the paper. So I cross j is k. Remember, this is the reason it's called vector cross product. When you do the cross product, you get a vector. Even you do dot product, you get scalar dot product. You get a scalar. Similarly, if you do j cross k, that when y rotates towards z axis, you get j cross k is I. K cross I is j. Easy way to remember is this. If you have I, j, and k, this is a positive cycle. I cross j will give you k, j cross k will give you I, and k cross I will give you j. So there's an easy way to remember clockwise rotation. So ij will give you plus k, jk will give you plus I, ki will give you j. But if you go in the opposite direction, I, j, and k, so if you rotate in the reverse, j cross I will give you minus k. This is a negative rotation. So we get a j cross I is minus k, I cross k minus j, k cross j minus I. Clear with this? So in case of dot products, the like vectors gave you 1 and the perpendicular vectors gave you 0. But in vector cross product, the like vectors will give you 0 and the perpendicular vectors will give you the other vector. A cross B is minus of B cross A. If you have A cross B plus C, you can split this. This will become A cross B plus A cross C. And if you have something like A cross B cross C, now this we don't have it. Max Smith will teach you. Just an understanding, this guy will become A dot C B bar minus B dot C A bar. Proof is not important, just have an idea like this. Max may you have a full chapter on vectors, they'll teach you much more in detail. For us, this much is sufficient. So you can have A cross B cross C. Can you have A dot B dot C? Can I have A dot B dot C? Why not? What is the problem? Bolo Naishman.
My result will be scalar, so it will be like scalar into vector UO. It's not possible. Dot product
So
has
the
to be
moment
vector
you do A dot
vector.
B, yeah, what he said is right. The moment you do A dot B, this becomes a number. Right? You can't do dot product between a number and a vector, right? So it is not possible. You can't have A dot B dot C. This is a wrong thing. So A dot B dot C doesn't make sense. Because the moment you do A dot B, this becomes a number. This is a scalar. This is a vector. Dot product is done between two vectors. You can't do between this thing. That's it. There will be kind of theoretical questions you will get. Clear with this? So how do you find A cross B? Now, one is brute force, huh? Now I'll teach you how to use a determinant. That is a little safer. But if you ask me how to do A cross B, so listen carefully. So A bar is AX I cap, AY J cap, and let's say AZ K cap. B bar is BY I cap, BX I cap, by j cap and bz k cap. So if you want to do a cross b, how many terms will come? This ax will multiply with bx, by, bz, 3 terms. Ay will multiply with 3 terms. Az will multiply with 3 terms. I get total 9 terms. It is cumbersome, but let's do it. So ax into bx, I cross I. Ax into by, I cross j. Ax into bz, I cross k. Then you do the next one. Ay into bx, j cross I. Ay into by. Like I said, this is a mathematical technique. This is not a concept. This will come as a part of some other problem. Like you're learning a tool basically. So this is ay into bz is j cross k. Then you do with az. Az into bx, k cross I. And just now we saw like vectors will become 0. So this guy is 0, this guy is 0, this guy is 0. And then what is I cross j? I cross j will be k cap. What is I cross k? Just now we saw I cross k, you have to go in the reverse, minus j cap. J cross I
Minus k cap.
minus k cap. And then j cross k cap,
I cap.
I cap. K cross I,
J cap.
j cap. And k cross j,
Minus I cap.
minus I. Bus. These things you need to remember. Even if you forgot, there we have this cycle, you can do it. You'll get used to it slowly with time. And then there, now add them up all. So I cap, bring all I caps together. We have one here and we have one here. These are the two I caps. Ay, bz minus az, by. Bring all j caps together. Az, bx minus ax, bz. Bring all k caps together. Ax, by minus ay, bx. So this is how you do vector cross product. Quite long. So there's a better way to do this using something called matrices. We'll see that determinants. But have a look at this, what we did. This is brute force. So literally you can just multiply and finish it off. This is quite useful if you have only I cap and j cap. Others do keep your cams on. Is this clear, everyone? What is the other way to do this? Listen to this thing. This is based on something called determinants, matrices and determinants. Max May will teach you full detailed chapter you have. But for now, I just want you to learn these things. I'm not sure. School did you learn something like matrices, determinants or something?
So
Even if you don't know,
that we haven't done.
So this is how we write this, like a box, right? So this is a 2 into 2 determinant. So if you write something like this, AB and CD, just understand the meaning of it. Now, why this comes, what this is all, let Max will take care of it. But the moment you see something like this with a box and 4 alphabets, the solution for this box is A into D minus B into C. That's what you write. Example, if someone gives you like this 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they ask you what is the value of this, multiply 1 into 4 and multiply 2 into 3 and subtract them. So 1 into 4 minus 2 into 3, that guy will be 4 minus 6. This is minus 2. That is the meaning of this thing. So if I give you a box like this and put 4 numbers there, this is how you solve. Suppose if I give you AX, AY, and BX and BY, and if you ask you what is the value of this, AX into BY and this, so AX into BY minus AY into BX. That is the answer for this. Clear with this? This is how you solve it, 2 into 2 determinant. Is this clear, everyone? How do you solve it? 3 into 3 determinant. Now listen to the rules here. So if you give me anything, 3 into 3 det, let me just call it as A1. I'll just take directly A bar and B bar only. Let's say we have A bar, which is AX I cap. This is important, right? Listen carefully because this cross product will keep coming. So this is just like a little math you need to know. So if someone asks you to find what is A bar cross B bar, this is how we write. It's a 3 into 3 determinant. I, J, K. We'll put the three vectors there. Then A is coming first. So we'll have AX, AY, and AZ. And then B is coming, which is BX, BY, and BZ. So how do we solve a 3 into 3 determinant? So listen to this thing. This is the technique we use. So first thing, step 1, we'll put a plus, minus, plus. This is step 1. And then step 2, choose any one line. So I'll choose I cap here. So cut off this line and cut off this row in this column. And you're left with what? You're left with only a 2 into 2 determinant. So you're left with this guy. So AY into BZ and AZ into BY. So this is how you're supposed to write. So this guy is equal to, since you're cutting off I cap. So means whatever term you have taken that into this 2 into 2 determinant. That would be AY into BZ minus AZ into BY. Let me show you one more. We'll see more examples, don't worry. Same thing. Now for the second term, when you do plus, minus, plus, now choose the second term. So when you take this one, cancel this and cancel this. Now you are left with 4. No? So end of the day, every time you're trying to bring a 2 into 2 matrix. So this will be now A into this and this into this. Now be careful, here you're starting with a minus sign. So this should be minus J into AX and BZ minus AZ into BX. Why are we taking plus, minus, minus? What is this? Don't worry about that. Max people will take care. Remember this. Now when you do for the third term, again same story, plus, minus, plus. So now we are cancelling K cap. So remove this one and this one. These two will cross multiply and these two will cross multiply. So for this, you're doing plus K cap into AX into BY minus AY into BX. So this is how you solve the 3 terms. Now once we got the 3 terms, so the answer for this question would be, there you can directly add this. So this is I cap into this guy, AY BZ minus AZ BY minus J cap AX BZ minus BX AZ plus K cap, the third term, AX BY minus AY BX. There, this is the answer for 3 into 3 matrix. So again, listen what we did. I'll just show an example. See, suppose if you give me a matrix like this, I, J, K, let the numbers be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just taking a random example. Step 1, plus, minus, plus. Step 2, choose any one. I will choose this I cap here. So cancel this and cancel this. Then I will get I cap because the first one is that. Then I'll do this cross product and this cross product. That will be 2 into 6 minus 3 into 5. That will give you the I cap. For the second one, now every time you'll not be writing so many times, but okay, you're learning, first time you'll do it. 4, 5, 6. Same story, plus, minus, plus, so cancel this and this. Now we will do these two and these two. The second term will be minus J into 6 into 1 minus 3 into 4. So this will be how much? 12 minus 15. So this is minus 3i. And this will be 6 minus 12 plus 6ij. Then the third one, I, J, K, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I will choose the K cap, plus, minus, plus, cancel this and cancel this. These two will multiply. So this is plus K cap into 1 into 5, minus 2 into 4. So that will be 5 minus 8. So that is minus 3K cap. So the final answer for this thing is I, J, K, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So if someone asks you what is the answer for this, this is minus 3I plus 6J and minus 3K. Are you getting what we did? Everyone got the steps. Now you guys try this and tell me what will be the answer for this. I, J, K, let's say 1 minus 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1 plus 2. Get me this. What if you have all numbers only? Let's say 1, 2, minus 3, 2 minus 1, 1, 3, 1, 2. What is this? Get these two, everyone. Let's see how will you handle these two. Give it a try. It's okay if you get something wrong. I'll show you, then you can see what went wrong. That is the fastest way to learn. Okay, we have one answer. Others, get it, everyone. I'll give you a minute for each. What about the second one? Second one, there's no IJK. It is all numbers only. How will you do that one? Okay, we have so many different answers for the first one. None of your answers are matching. Matlab, all of you got different answers. 5 minus I minus J. Okay, try another 20 seconds. I'll show you the first one. Then you can see whether you got it right or wrong. Let's see. Look at the first one. So step 1, we'll put plus, minus, plus. So when I take this plus, I will cancel this guy. So that will be plus I cap into, so I need to cross multiply these two and these two. So that will be minus 2 into 2 minus of minus 1 minus 1. For the second one, when I take this guy, I will cancel this and this. So that will be minus J. And then remember, I need to take these two and these two. That will be 1 into 2 minus 3 into minus 1. The fourth one, I'll take the K cap. So this and this will go off. I need to take this matrix, which is K cap into 1 into minus 1 minus 3 into minus 2. There, now simplify this. So this is minus 4, and that's minus 1, minus 5 I cap. This is 2 plus 3 minus 5 J cap. That is minus 1 plus 6 plus 5 K cap. Check your answers. 1 minus n will goof up the whole thing, so be careful. Ask me, anyone is confused, anyone didn't get this. All got what we did? You're getting how to do the 3 into 3 dead, right? Anyone is confused, please ask. What is the second part answer? Now see, what is the difference between the first part and the second part? In place of I cap, you have number 1. In place of j cap, you have 2. In place of k cap, you have 3, isn't it? So I'll just replace I cap, j cap, and k cap with numbers. You're getting it? The matrices doesn't care whether you're putting numbers or vectors. It will give you the same thing. So how will you do this thing? So same story, plus, minus, plus, start with 1. So this will be 1 into, then we take this matrix, this into this. So that will be 1 into minus 1 into 2, minus 1 into 1. The second one will be minus 2. So this and this are gone, so I have to take these two things. That will be 2 into 2 minus 3 into 1. Basically, in this case, you'll get a scalar. The fourth one will be minus 3 into 2 into 1 minus of 3 into minus 1. Simplify this. How much is this? Minus 2, minus 1, minus 3. This is minus 2. That's 4 minus, that is 1. This is minus 3 and 2 plus 3, that is 5. This is minus 3, minus 2, and minus 15. So we get minus 20. Please check. Any doubts on this? Is everyone getting how to do a 3 into 3 debt? Now, why we do this? What is this? That you don't worry about. Let Max will take care of it. This is a technique you need to know when I give you a matrix. That's it. Like I said, this chapter is more of a maths, not physics. Any doubts on this? Anyone didn't get any particular step or any confusion? Please ask. All clear with this? No. So if I give a 3 into 3 debt, this is how you solve. So if I ask you for A cross B, this is how you do. So A cross B, when I write, it will be I, J, K, AX, AY, AZ, BX, BY, BZ. There, now you know how to do A cross B. So what is the physical significance of this? So the physical significance is, suppose if you take a parallelogram made with A bar and B bar, this is A bar, this is B bar, and the angle between them is theta. So from here, if you drop a perpendicular, this length will be B sine theta. This will be the height of the parallelogram. What is the area of a parallelogram? Area of a parallelogram is base into height. So in this case, the base is A, and the height is B sine theta. You can clearly see this is nothing but magnitude of A cross B. There. So the vector cross product gives you the area of the parallelogram formed by the two sides of the vector. So A bar and B bar are sides of the parallelogram. So if you give me two sides of a parallelogram, the vector form, I can give you the area of the parallelogram. Similarly, if I take only half of it, that is B bar and A bar, then I'll get area of a triangle. So area of a triangle is given by half of A cross B bar. So if you give me the two sides of a triangle, then what is the use of that area? There will be some use later on. You will not know now, right? You will know later on. It's like asking what is the use of 2 plus 2. Clear with this? So this is the physical significance. If you give me two vectors, I can find area. So you will see it somewhere like this, which you will not understand now. Where are you, gravitation? So we do stuff like this. So you will get something like this. So the area of so when a planet is going around an orbit, an elliptical orbit, this would be the area of this small triangle formed by that planet. So we actually use vector cross product to get the area of the triangle. And then we prove something called areal velocity and blah, 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 and all that stuff. Yeah, this is Kepler's law. There are multiple ways of using it. We'll see. We'll also get Snell's law, but we will see what is the meaning of it. Clear with this? All got this thing. So if you want to use this in refraction, Snell's law, it is not a big one. So if you have a medium mu1, if you have a medium mu2, this is your normal vector. Let's say if this is your incident vector I cap, this is your refracted vector this thing. So this is angle I and this is angle R. So we know I cap cross n cap is mod I cap, mod n cap sin I. Similarly, R cross n cap will be mod R cap, which is 1, mod n cap, which is 1, is equal to sin R. So the Snell's law is what? Mu1 sin I is mu2 sin R. So if you see the dot product gave you reflection, the vector cross product will give you the refraction. This will be I cross n cap is equal to mu2 R cross n cap. There. So you can use this in Snell's law and refraction because the cross product will give you the sign. Clear, everyone? There. So these are the important ones. That is the whole theory of vector cross product actually. Any doubts on this? But everyone clear how to do a 2 into 3 into 3 data, right? Let's see some questions. Any doubts so far? Anything you're not clear, please ask. Let's see a question. Let's say A bar is 2i minus j plus 3k. B bar is 3i plus 2j minus 2k. Find, first thing, A cross B. Find the area of the parallelogram. Formed by A bar and B bar. Kind of all are related actually. Find area of triangle. Formed by A bar and B bar. Find a vector perpendicular. Find a vector of magnitude 10 perpendicular to both A bar and B bar. Find if you have A bar cross A bar minus 2B bar, what is this? Find if you have XA bar plus YB bar dot A cross B bar. X and Y are constants. There, 6 questions, get them all. It looks like a big one, but once you got the A part, everything will come back to back. These are all the models you can ask. Yeah, there are a few more, but these are the main models that they can ask in vector cross product. The main thing is knowing how to solve the 3 into 3 data. Vanshika, check out that K cap ka direction. Right, Ovia, you got that right. Arya, right. Vanshika, you messed up the K cap. Arya, right. Ishman, right. Shreyansh, right. Yeah. Get this, it is easy, just 3 into 3, that fast. Try. I'll give you 2 minutes for ABC. Let's see A cross B. I hope everyone got that. So A cross B, I cap, J cap, K cap. This is 2, this is -1, this is 3, and this is 3, 2, and -2. You know the process. So this is plus, minus, and plus. The first thing, I cap. So this and this will go off. So cross multiply that. That would be -2 into -1 minus 2 into 3. And then we have so this and this will go off. So that will be 2 into -2 minus 3 into 3. Then we have plus K cap. So be careful to minus J there. Don't forget that. So this and this are gone. Then we have 2 into 2 minus 3 into -1. There. That will be -2 plus 2 and -6 -4 I cap. That will be 4 plus 9, so 9 J cap. No, 13 J cap. This is 4 plus 3, 7 K cap. Clear, everyone? Easy? There I got A cross B. What is mod A cross B? Get the magnitude of this. Root over 4 square, 13 square plus 7 square. That is how much? 169, 16, 49. 169, 49, that's 170, 50, 220, 218, 218 and 16. That's 234. That's your A cross B. That's what happens, Srihari, when we don't revise the class notes.
Sir,
1 second. Yeah, this is the discussion on page 59. You should definitely go and check it out. Right? We did have the discussion before why area is defining as a vector is more convenient. Yeah, someone was asking something.
can you check
Oh, yeah.
if my answer is correct for the B question?
We'll see now. I'm doing it, right? You can check it out. Where am I running away?
Sir, can you show the questions, please?
Yeah. I think once you got the first part, the second is done, right? What is area of the parallelogram? You got everything in place here. So we got A cross B is this guy minus 4i plus 13j plus 7k. What is area of the parallelogram? Mod of A cross B, which is root 234. This is half of mod A cross B.
Sir,
Yeah.
I did it like mod of A dot mod of B into sine theta. And I
But
found
again, how
theta
did you
by
find
nine-
theta?
So I
You got
made
theta from,
cos theta equals to A dot B
but
by
then you had to convert
mod of-
cos into sine, right? You went really round, na? You could have just got A cross B cut dot magnitude.
like sine theta would be like sine of 90 minus angle between that. So this
If you
is
got cos theta, then sine theta is what? Sine theta is root over 1 minus cos square theta, right?
so, but the theta would be the angle between two vector, and we have to find 90 minus angle between the two, right?
It doesn't matter here. Why 90 minus the angle? 180 minus, right? You're
So, but
talking about
like
that
you
head and
said-
tail thing, right? So if this was theta, if you just shift them tail to head, then what you'll get? This will be 180 minus theta, isn't it? It's not 90 minus. Is that what you're saying?
But no, like in the diagram you like made a parallelogram, you put a perpendicular, and then you said theta is this. In the last previous
Theta
page.
is this, right? Angle between the two vectors, na? A bar and B bar. And that is a theta between them.
Like, could you go to the previous page? Where you
Yeah.
is this? You draw. Okay, sure.
What did you take theta as?
I didn't like. I thought perpendicular b sine theta is
Okay. No. This is B and this is just P sine theta. Clear, na?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, if there is a vector, let's say k, and there is a vector, let's say n, and if we need to find a cross, no, not a unit vector, normal vector,
A bar and
b bar,
B bar. ठीक है. And then
and we need to do 2a bar cross b bar. So can we write it as 2
2 into
into
A cross
a?
B bar. बस
Okay.
वही है. You can do that. वो उसमें कुछ problem नहीं है. The number just comes out. But are you guys getting this? If you got the first question, B and C will come back immediately, right? B and C का कुछ अलग से करने का जरूरत नहीं है. What about D part? You're getting so A, B, C, all three are related. What about D part? Someone did get. Did someone type already? Think. I'll get another 30, 40 seconds. It's related. You know the A part, you'll get D part also. We just had this discussion here. Do you remember what did I say here? When you do A cross B, what did we get? We got a vector A cross B, which is perpendicular to both A bar and B bar. So the answer is here only. So if you take A bar and if you take B bar, the cross product A cross B, this vector is perpendicular to B bar. This vector is also perpendicular to A bar, isn't it? Similarly, B cross A is also perpendicular. And now you're asking me to get a vector. Now listen to this thing. I want you to find a vector with a magnitude 10 in the direction of A cross B. So what is that actually? So I want a magnitude 10 in the direction of A cross B. When you say direction means what? I want a unit vector. This is the answer, isn't it? Plus or minus, because it can be up or it can be down also. So find A cross B ka unit vector and multiply plus or minus 10. So this will be plus or minus 10. This would be minus 4i plus 13j plus 7k by root 234. Is that making sense, everyone? Plus and minus because there are two possible answers. So whenever they ask you find a vector perpendicular to both A bar and B bar, right, Arya, that is right. So this is what you do. Is this understood, everyone? We still have two more questions. What about these two guys? A cross A minus 2B and XA plus YB dot A plus A cross B. Any doubts on ABCD, please ask. Any doubts on this? Advait, Shreyan, any doubts on A to D? Yashvi, Sudiksha, Shreyansh, Srihari? Clear? Do E and F. I'll give you a minute more. Ishman, that is wrong. Okay, let's see E and D answer. You need not struggle so much. It is there easy only. See, it's all related to the first part. So we want A cross A bar minus 2B bar. Now, one way to people do, right? They calculate A minus 2B and then do the cross product. It is too long. There's a much better way to do. Just multiply here. We'll have A cross A minus 2 times A cross B. Agreed? What is A cross A? 0. 2 parallel vectors will give you 0. So A cross A is mod A sine 0. This is 0. So this is as good as minus 2 times A cross B. And you already know A cross B. So substitute kar lena, you're done. A cross B is this guy. That's what I said. If you did the first one, everything will fall in place. You need not do everything multiple times. The last one is 7K. Easy. Instead of finding A minus 2B and then doing cross product, this is faster. F is an interesting one. XA cap plus YB cap. You can see and tell the answer here. But let me show you mathematically only. So again, I can split this. So it will be X into A bar dot A cross B plus Y into B bar dot A cross B. Just now we made a statement. The vector A bar cross B bar is perpendicular to both A bar and B bar. If two vectors are perpendicular, then the dot product is 0. Since A cross B bar is perpendicular to A bar and B bar, A cross B dot A must be 0. A cross B dot B is 0. So the meaning of that vector, right? It's just not, look at this thing. If this is A bar and this is B bar, you take any vector in the plane of this thing, any vector, all those vectors will be perpendicular to A cross B. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
That is the meaning of that F part of the question. So E and F, actually, there's not much to solve. Is this making sense, everyone? So actually, all that you did, you just calculated A cross B once, and then you're done. You got everything else. It's a good question. It has 6 parts. Any doubts on this? All clear? Next thing. Let's say if I give you a triangle like this, let's say point A is 1, 2, 1. Point B, we'll have a small break. I forgot. Take a small break. Come back by 9:50. We'll continue here.
Sir, can I ask doubts?
You can send me, Arya. Where did you send it actually?
Sir, I thought you would discuss in class only. Okay, I'll send
Yeah,
it.
end of the class, right? End of the class.
So this is not a
I'm-
doubt, but I
Yeah,
just
anything in the
wanted to
class
ask-
notes you can ask me. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I was not there for the previous 2 classes because I was not at home. So I was going through the lecture recordings, but I saw that on the YouTube like playlist that you gave only 5 like the Tuesday's lecture recording has been uploaded, but not the previous lecture recording.
Huh.
So could you upload that? Because
I think I did upload it. I'll check it out.
no, there are only 5 videos and like 6th
There
one
are
is
only
also-
5. 6th one is this only, na? Today is 6th one.
Okay,
Nay? Today is not the 6th one?
no,
I'll
I
check it out.
think
Let me
there's
see then.
something missing. Reach me. Yeah, because the 5th video is from 15th April. There was also a class on 17th.
Okay, miss हो गया होगा. I check करता हूँ एक
Yeah.
बार.
तो सर आप अपलोड कर देना बस.
I'll do
I
that
will
today
check.
night. Yeah, today
Yeah.
7th lecture. I missed one lecture. I'll check it out.
Okay, sir.
Go,
Thank you.
take a break, come back in 5 minutes. Okay, Arya. So yeah, I know the vectors is easier. इसमें कुछ इतना है ही नहीं है, you can't ask really anything tough in this. But you send me now. Whatever doubts you just post it in WhatsApp and leave it, right? End of the class we can sit and discuss.
Sir, I have solved many questions from Cengage and all. So
Yeah.
I wanted some advanced problems on vectors.
From vectors, you won't get much. There is not much. But I'll send you something. But
Okay, sir.
advanced करके कुछ है ही नहीं है इसमें. You have to wait till kinematics. Till then, these things will be little easy only for you.
Okay, sir.
Because you saw now, what is there in A cross B? What can I ask you in vector cross product? When you mix up 3 to 4 chapters, then you start getting advanced problems. Like I said, no, this is not even physics. This is max. But I'll still send you a sheet. Don't worry about it. But I don't know. मतलब इतना advanced level questions you can't get anything because advanced में no one asks you what is vector. You don't get anything. But I'll send you something today.
Okay,
No
sir.
problems. Yeah, let's start off. So let's say this point is A, which is 1, 2, 1. This is B, which is 2, 3, 4. And let's say this is C, which is -3, 1, 1. Find the area of this triangle. I think I uploaded that thing. You can check it out.
Thank you, sir.
How do we do this? Let's get this. If I give you the 3 points, then how do you find the area of a triangle? Remember, just now we wrote the formula half A cross B, where A bar and B bar are the sides of a triangle. Done? So how do we do this thing? Remember the idea? So area of a triangle, the formula is still valid, is half the cross product of the sides. So choose any 2 sides. So I will take AB bar cross AC bar. Is that making sense? You could have taken BC bar and BA bar. The answer would be same. So that is a catch. So A bar and B bar are sides of a triangle. So you need this vector and this vector ka cross product. Or you could have taken any 2 sides. It won't matter. So let's do first AB bar. AB bar, you're going from A to B. B is final, A is initial. So 2 minus 1 I cap, 3 minus 2 J cap, 4 minus 1 3 K cap. And AC bar will be A to C, -3 -1 -4 I cap, 1 minus 2 minus J cap, and that's 0. Then we do AB cross AC. You take 3 into 3 determinant. I cap, J cap, K cap. Then the coefficients of AB bar 1, 1, 3. AC ka coefficients -4, -1, 0. Then this is I cap. So 1 into 0 is 0, -1, -3. This is 3. Minus J cap. So this and this will be gone. So 1 into 0, -4 into 3. This is -12. K cap will be 1 into 1 -1 plus 4. There you got a vector. 3I plus 12J plus 3K. Therefore, this area will be half of root over the magnitude 3 square, 12 square, and 3 square. That is 9, 9, and 144. How much is that? 144, 18, 162. Easy. So the main catch in the question is that you need to find A bar and B bar. Those are the sides of a triangle. Is this clear, everyone? So every time they won't give you the sides of a triangle. Sometimes they'll give the points. From there you get the vector and then finish it off. Others do keep your cams on. So if I want to write this in a more general form, so you can remember this. So if there are 4 random points here, let's say this is A and this is B and this is C. If this is A bar, this is B bar, and this is C bar, and you want to form a triangle with these 3 points here, and you want the area of this triangle. So this will be C bar minus A bar, and this will be B bar minus A bar. So area of the triangle found by these 3 vectors will be half of C bar minus A bar cross B bar minus A bar. You can expand this. You will get C cross B. You will get minus A cross B, and then you will get minus C cross A. So you can just arrange these terms. You will end up with A cross B plus B cross C plus C cross A. That you can write like this. So instead of giving the sides of a triangle, if you give me the position vectors of the vertices, so here A bar, B bar, C bar are the position vectors of the corners of the triangle. This is the formula. I simply flipped it. I just wrote C cross B as minus B cross C and took out the minus sign.
So this is similar to the coordinate geometry formula for
Yeah,
area of triangle.
same thing. See, basically, end of the day, it is max only. You are just manipulating everything into vectors and getting all those results. Is this clear, everyone? So if I give you sides, you use half A cross B. But if A, B, C are not sides but vertices, then you'll get this. But instead of remembering this, I think if you can remember this thing, right, get the sides and do cross product, that is a better way to remember. I don't want you to remember each and every formula there. You'll get overwhelmed. Is this clear, everyone? Clear, na? Shlok, Advai, Ananya? Clear? Srihari? Utsa? One more thing. Suppose if I ask you a question like this. If C bar and D bar, let's say if you have a parallelogram, we did this thing in parallelogram of vectors. If this is A bar and this is B bar, we know this diagonal is A cross B. And this diagonal is B cross B minus, see, wait, it's not A cross B, A plus B. So A bar plus B bar will give you the diagonal of the parallelogram. If you take the other diagonal, this will be B bar minus A bar. So if you do A bar plus B bar cross B bar minus A bar, they'll ask you a question like this. If C bar and D bar are diagonals of a parallelogram, then what is the cross product of them? So if you do this, you will get A cross B minus A cross A plus B cross B minus B cross A. A cross A will be 0, B cross B will be 0. So this is A cross B minus B cross A, and B cross A is nothing but A cross B. So this is 2 times A cross B. So this is another result you can remember. Half, if you have C bar cross D bar, this gives you area of the parallelogram, where C bar and D bar are diagonals of the parallelogram. So if you take sides, it is A cross B. If you take diagonals, it is half of C cross D. So questions will be framed like this. They will say there are two vectors, A bar and B bar. These are the diagonals of a parallelogram. Then what is the area of a parallelogram? If you use A cross B, you will get a wrong answer. So there are three different kind of things if you see. If they are sides, so look at these things again. If you are sides, then area is A cross B. Life is easy, right? If you are vertices, then it is something else. If you are diagonals, then the result is something else. So there are three different variations of it. All the cases I'm asking you area, but I'm giving you different points. Clear, everyone? Great. Let's see, let's tell something more. That's it. Vector cross product, you really can't ask too many variations of this. There's nothing more. You can ask, but then it'll become more of a max thing. Max people anyway has a full chapter for that. Let's do this thing. Mod A is 1, mod B is 4, and it is given A bar dot B bar is 2. If there's a third vector C bar, which is 2A bar cross B bar minus 3B bar is given. Find angle between B bar and C bar. There, look at this. You can make it a little tough like this. So this is one question where you have dot product, parallelogram law of vectors, and cross product. You brought all three. So physics, right, becomes more fun and more interesting when you have more chapters in hand. I think at least we should have around 3 to 4 chapters in hand, and things will be more nice. Once you have 10 chapters, you can make deadly ones. Let's get this. How do we do this? Think it's a good one. So if I had to ask you something like this will be an advanced ka easy question. Like I said, pure vectors, you really can't ask much. So don't underestimate physics based on this first 3 chapters. Huh? You'll be in for a big surprise. You will get slaughtered. This is a time where you can chill out a bit for the next 1 or 2 months, and then things will be different. Angle between A and B is coming 60, but I want angle between B and C, na, Vanshika? A and B is easy to find. A dot B is given, mod A, mod B is given. I want angle between B and C. Try. I'll give another 2 minutes. Think it's okay if you don't get an answer. Don't worry about the answer part. If there are 10 steps in a problem, figure out 1 or 2 steps, 3 steps. That's it. That is your job. Let's see the first part. So A bar dot B bar. So this will give you angle between A and B bar, which we needed actually. So that's cos theta. And this is 2, 1, 4. Cos theta is half and theta is 60. Great. Then what? Now, Roma, one thing I told you, if I give you two vectors and ask you angle between them, what do we do normally? Forget about this question. If I give you two vectors and if I ask you find the angle, what do we do generally? We do dot product, isn't it? So we'll do the same thing. So I want the angle between B and C. So B bar dot C bar is mod B bar, mod C bar, and cos alpha. Alpha is angle between B bar and C bar. That is how you start. Now, what is B bar? B bar is B bar only. C bar is this guy. So B bar dot C bar will be 2A cross B minus 3B bar. And this will be mod B bar. And this will be mod C bar, which is again 2A cross B. Remember, 2A cross B itself is a unit vector. 3B bar cos alpha. Now, can you do something? I'll give you a minute. Now, try. So if you see on the right hand side, you have a parallelogram law of vectors, mod A plus B. Left hand side, you have a dot product. Inside, there's a cross product sitting. No, he'll get a good answer. You get a standard angle. Now, what to do from here? Think, and don't worry about the answer. Your job is to focus and try to solve as much as you can. Answers will come. You'll see that later on. Don't worry about that. Let's see. So on the left hand side, what do we get? We have B bar dot 2A bar cross B bar minus 3B bar dot B bar. This is mod B, and this guy will be root over. Now remember, this is thing, right? Just don't see the cross product and get scared. This is something like C, and this is something like D. So it's mod of C plus D bar. So that will be 2A cross B ka magnitude ka square plus 3B ka square minus 2 times 2A cross B dot 3B bar into cos alpha. This was the whole thing. Now, luckily, you can see this guy is 0.
Like in like -2 in the root, it shouldn't it be like into angle between those?
ठीक है ना? You want angle between those? I can write like that also. So this will be 3B. What is the angle between them? Cos 90, na?
90. Was 90?
Dot product is also same only. A cross B is perpendicular to B bar. So that is 90 only, right? So that term is anyway 0. Isn't that the same as dot product? AB cos theta is A dot B.
Cos
नहीं?
90 is 0, so the whole term like
The whole term nahi hai, only that term goes off, isn't it?
yes, that term.
So this guy is 0, this guy is 0. The reason? 2a bar cross b bar is perpendicular to b bar. Hope that just now we proved it in the before, if you remember. Then you're done. So left hand side will have 3b square. This is b, and this will be root over 2a cross b cos square plus 9b square cos alpha. So 2a cross b is nothing but mod 2a mod b sine theta. A is given as 1 and b is given as 4. So this is 2 into 4 into this is sine 60. That is root 3 by 2. So this is 4 root 3. Mod A is 1, mod B is 4. So this guy will be 1. B will cancel. Minus 3 into 4 square is equal to 4 into root over 4 root 3 square plus 9 into 4 square. Simplify this one. 4 will go off. This will be minus 12. This will be 16 into 348 plus. Actually, I can take out 1 4 also common here. That will be root 3 square. 3 plus 9 cos alpha. That will become root 12. 4 3 3 by root 12. Root 12 is how much? 2 into root 3 minus root 3 by 2. Therefore, alpha is 150 degrees. How did you got that in under root? Dekho, I'll write this thing here. So 2a cross b bar minus 3b bar. Come on, right? So let's call this thing c bar. Let's call this thing d bar. So this is as good as c bar minus d bar. Agreed? This is root over c square plus d square minus 2cd cos theta. No? And theta is angle between c bar and d bar. Is that making sense? And that angle is 90, right? So this term becomes 0. Cos 90, this guy is 0. So this whole term inside goes off to 0. Check your steps. Arya, bolo na.
Sir, you have given 2 A bar into B bar, right? A bar cross B bar.
2 into A
given.
cross B bar. This one, na?
No, in the given. Oh, sorry, I missed it. I took wrong given. I
This is
took
a good
A
one.
cross B instead of A dot B.
A dot tha wo. All clear with this? Yes, this is a little tougher one. Matlab you can see there is a cross product, dot product, and parallelogram law vectors. It has everything. Should definitely try this on your own again. It's not complex, you'll get it, but if you don't do it on your own, you'll not remember this. Clear, everyone? Clear, na, everyone? Shreyansh, Ishman, Advai, Aditi, Pratyasha, Shreyan, Sidesh, Rishi, clear with this? The next one, scalar triple product. This is the last one. We also call it as box product. So let's say if you have 3 vectors, so this is how we write this. We call this thing box, A bar, B bar, C bar. We'll see why we call it a box. So this is nothing but A cross B dot C bar. This can be also written as B cross C dot A bar. So A becomes B becomes C, and C becomes A. You keep flipping it. Then B becomes C, and C becomes A, and A becomes B. All are valid. So what is this exactly? And why do we call it box? So consider if you have 3 vectors. A bar, B bar, C bar, forming a parallelepiped. So in a 2-dimension, we call it parallelogram. In 3-dimension, we call it parallelepiped. In 2-dimension, we call it rectangle. 3-dimension, we call it cuboid. 2-dimension, we call it square. 3-dimension, we call it cube. So this is how it looks. So if this is A bar and this is B bar, you can make a parallelogram like this with A bar and B bar. Now if you bring a third vector, C bar, now I can keep 4 C vectors like this, C bar, and C bar. And again, if I join them with A bar and B bar and C bar, can you see you get a box? That's why we call it a box product. So the 3 vectors, when you expand them, when you put parallel vectors, you get a box. So this shape is called a parallelepiped. The volume of this parallelepiped is given by the base area into height, which we will prove now. Right, so this is nothing but, so the box product A, B, C, this gives you the volume of the parallelepiped. So if you see, the dot product gave you the component of one vector and another vector. Parallelogram gave you the area, the box product is giving you the volume. So length, area, volume, you're getting all 3. But is the sense making sense, everyone? Why we call it a box product and how they form this thing? So how do we calculate this thing? So listen, it's not difficult, simple derivation. So first you make a parallelogram, A bar and B bar. So we know the area of this base is magnitude of A cross B. This comes from vector law. Great. Then bring your C bar, C bar, C bar, C bar, and C bar, and now join them. You got a parallelogram. Now for A and B, this vector will be A cross B. So that's a vector perpendicular to both A bar and B bar. And let this angle be alpha. So here alpha is an angle between A cross B and C bar. So from here, if you drop a perpendicular, if this length is C, this length will be C cos alpha. That is your height of the parallelogram. So the height is given by C cos alpha. Therefore, the volume, which is base area into height, will be A cross B into C into cos alpha. Doesn't this look like a dot product, which is A cross B dot C? This is what we call as a box product. Is this making sense, everyone? So this was the proof. So A cross B will give you the base area. C cos alpha will give you height. So you got AB cos alpha, like CD cos alpha types, which is C bar dot D bar. Any doubts on this? So how do we calculate this? So let's write down a few points here. I'll show you how to calculate. So ABC gives you volume of a parallelepiped. So if someone asks you to calculate this is the determinant A, B, C. This will be, so first is A, so this will become AX, AY, AZ. This is BX, BY, BZ. Basically, you get all numbers, CX, CY, and CZ. And this is the reason I gave this example, if you remember. The second example, it's only numbers. This was that one. This was a box product example. Though. So in this, there is no I cap, J cap, K cap. You get only the magnitude because it is volume, right? Volume doesn't have a direction. And how do we solve this? Same story. We'll put plus, minus, plus. Then this will become AX. Then we do this cross product. BY, CZ, minus CY, BZ. Then we do minus AY. So basically you remove these two. So basically in place of I, J, K, put AX, AY and AZ. This will be BX, CZ minus CX, BZ plus AZ will be BX, CY minus CX, BY. That's how you get this thing. Now tell me one thing, if the box product is 0, what does it mean? If the
No.
box product is 0, what does that mean? It means 0 volume. Okay. So what does that mean?
Same plane.
So, but meaning they're not forming a box, right? We have a box with 0 height, isn't it? All the 3 vectors are in the same plane. Right? For points, we call it collinear. For vectors, we call them coplanar vectors. So this means the vectors A bar, B bar, C bar, they're not forming a 3-dimensional structure. You're not getting a box. You're getting a flat surface. Are in the same plane. These kind of vectors are called coplanar vectors. So they'll ask you this thing, find the condition if the 3 vectors are coplanar, box product is 0. That is the meaning of this, vectors in same plane. Clear, everyone? Meaning,
So
if
can
I
you
had to
show
give
the
an
last slide, please?
Yeah.
Sir, in general situations, how do we find the alpha angle?
You need to get A cross B, you need to get C bar, then dot product. There is no other way. Meaning,
Sir.
what vectors you have? Do you have ABC? If you have ABC, then you can find alpha, right?
Yes.
Sir,
R.
sir, what if like C is perpendicular to both A and B?
Then you get a rectangle, then you get a cuboid, no?
And then still the box will be 0.
It is still a box. The parallelogram has become a cuboid. It's like you're saying a parallelogram became a rectangle. In a parallelogram, if A is perpendicular to B, what do you get? You get a rectangle.
And then the box will still be 0, right?
No, box will not be 0. Then you get alpha 0, na? Cos alpha will be 1.
Right.
So 90 layer. Alpha will become 0, right? All got this? Meaning, just to show you how will the non-coplanar vectors look, look at this thing. Remember the shape which we did? So if you choose vectors like this, this is A bar, this is B bar, this is C bar. These are non-coplanar. They're not in the same plane. And if you remember this, you actually heard this term in school. You know where? In reflection. When a light ray is incident on a mirror, the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal are in the same plane. Did you guys remember this? There is a term like that. The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal are in the same plane. So we say the box product of I cap, R cap, N cap is 0. This is another relation between I and R and N cap. Clear, everyone? Everyone got how to do this thing? Let's say a question. So if you have give a box product, you just put AX, AY, AZ and get a 3 into 3 det. You really don't have much more models on this. This is only one variety you have. So I'll give you 3 vectors A bar, 3i minus 2j plus k, and let's say B bar is I plus j minus 2k. Say 8i minus 5j plus k. So they'll give 3 vectors like this. So the questions will be of this sort. Find the box product ABC. That is one way of asking. Second, they'll ask you find volume of the parallelepiped. It is the same thing. So you actually need to solve only once and everything will come. Third thing, are the vectors coplanar? So for all the three questions, there are three different questions, but the answer is same. You just need it only one time. Are the vectors coplanar? Let's get them. Minus 64, okay. But when you tell the answer for B, you have to give a magnitude. Box ABC can be negative, but volume can't be negative. Six meter cube. 64. We have two different answers. We have a 64 and 6. We have two 6s and one 64. 6 looks right. Another 30 seconds. In case you're wondering, this is what you do, right? So the box ABC is simply, you need to take the coefficients of I cap, J cap, K cap. You need to take the coefficients. So I cap coefficient is 3, A cap, minus 2 and 1. You're getting it? We need to take these coefficients. You don't take IJ cap. And this is 1, 1 and minus 2. This is 8, minus 5 and 1. Plus, minus, plus. So this is 3 into 1 into 1, minus 10. This is minus of minus 2. And then this will be this into this. That will be 1 plus 16. This is 1 into minus 5 minus 8. This is minus 27 plus 34 minus 13. This is minus 6. The box product is minus 6. Volume plus 6. Are the vector coplanars? No, because it is not 0. For coplanar vectors, the box product has to be 0. So once you got that ABC, you'll get all the answers. Is this clear, everyone? That's it. Vector box product, right? We really don't have more models than that. So if you see, there are the three main things: the dot product, the cross product, and this thing, the box product. Clear with this? So there, that would be the end of the chapter, right? With that, we are done with vectors, almost 200 pages. So please make sure to go through the whole thing. We did basic maths and vectors and everything. The next chapter will be calculus. We'll be starting with differentiation and then integration. I think that should take around 3 weeks. Right, so we'll be doing pretty extensively that also. At least whatever math is required for physics, we'll be handling in that. And then we'll start off with kinematics and stuff. These things has to be clear. Without these things, right, you can't go to advanced problems. If your vectors are bad, if your calculus is bad, you can't do advanced problems. Means will be okay, you can manage, but advanced you can't. So that is one. And like I already informed,